Joey Gladstone, the funny guy from Full House, always got a joke ready. But today, we're going to look at Dave Coulier a little differently. We're going deep into his journey with non-Hodgkin lymphoma, our main source for this deep dive. An article called Facing Cancer Head On, Dave Coulier's inspiring fight against non-Hodgkin lymphoma. Coulier is facing this thing head on, and he's doing it with that same humor we all love him for. So Coulier's journey, it all started with just normal cold symptoms, swollen lymph nodes, goes to the doctor, gets some scans and a biopsy, and boom, everything changes. Aggressive B-cell lymphoma, it really makes you think, life can change just like that. 1 minute you're dealing with a sniffle, the next it's something serious.
You're right, it can happen so fast. And you mentioned lymphoma, but Coulier's type, aggressive D-cell lymphoma, it's known for how fast it grows. It attacks the lymphatic system, which is a big part of how your body fights off infections. And for Coulier, it's even more complicated because it's targeting his B cells specifically. Those are the white blood cells that make antibodies. Antibodies are crucial for fighting infections. So when they're compromised, your body's defenses are weakened. That's why treatments like chemo can be so aggressive. They're trying to wipe out those cancer cells that are multiplying like crazy.
Getting that diagnosis, it's got to be heavy, Coulier actually talked about it, how he felt at that moment. He said, 3 days later, my doctors called me back and they said, we wish we had better news for you, but you have non-Hodgkin's lymphoma and it's called B-cell and it's very aggressive. Hearing him say it like that, it just hits you, the seriousness of it all. But here's the thing, even with news like that, Coulier's humor, it shines through. He decides to just shave his head, like he's taking control of the situation. He even joked about it on his podcast, Full House Rewind. He said, I've always been a man of many hats. It's a small thing, but it says a lot about his attitude, how he's choosing to face this.
You're absolutely right. That humor, it's more than just a joke. It's a coping mechanism. Like when he makes that joke about the NHL because of the hair loss from chemo, he's reframing a tough situation, turning something negative into a punchline. It's almost like he's saying, this is happening, but I'm going to decide how I experience it. And research backs this up, This kind of proactive humor, it really can help people cope with stress. And some studies even suggest it can impact treatment outcomes.
And there is good news, thankfully. Coulier's had 3 surgeries already, and he's going through chemo. Plus, his recent bone marrow test, it came back negative. Coulier even said it was a great day. It's a real sign of hope in this whole journey.
That negative bone marrow test, it's huge, especially in Coulier's case. It means the cancer hasn't spread to his bone marrow. This bumps up his chances of a full recovery to something like 90%. It's not a total guarantee, but it's a really good sign that the treatment's working and his outlook is optimistic. I bet that news was a huge relief for him and his family. It's tough, This isn't Coulier's first experience with cancer. He lost his mom to breast cancer, and now his sister Karen's battling it too. Makes you think how this is so personal for him, but so many families go through the same thing.
It's heartbreaking, all that weight on him and his family. And having a family history of cancer, it's got to make things even harder. But then again, maybe it helps them understand each other better, having that shared experience. And they're using humor to get through it together. Coulier even joked about making it to the NHL after his diagnosis because of losing his hair from the chemo. It's like, even when things are really tough, humor can bring people together.
It's not just a distraction though, right? It's like they're using humor to see their experience in a different light, finding a way to laugh even when things are hard, and using that laughter to be strong. Humor, when you share it with people you love, it brings you closer. And there's research on this, Laughter releases endorphins, those things that make you feel good and even help with pain. It's like they're taking the shared trauma and making it a way to connect and be stronger.
Coulier's really using this experience to help others too. He's become a big advocate for early detection, urging everyone to take care of their health, be proactive. He even said, take great care of yourself because there's a lot to live for. He's really stressing that early detection can change everything.
He's right on the money with that. Early detection, especially with cancer, it's crucial. The earlier you catch it, the better your chances are. But he's not just talking about the medical stuff. He's talking about appreciating life, taking charge of your health. It's a good reminder for all of us, right? Sometimes we don't think about our health until something happens.
And through all of this, Coulier is still optimistic. He's aiming for remission by February 2025. He's got his wife Melissa, their son Lukic, and a grandbaby on the way to keep him going. There's a picture of him out on the ice with friends. Beautiful picture. Shows his resilience, his determination to live life to the fullest, even while he's going through treatment.
That picture says a lot, doesn't it? Getting a cancer diagnosis, it can feel like it takes over your whole life. But Coulier is showing us that it doesn't have to. Life goes on, even during treatment. You can still find joy, connect with people, do things you love. It's a powerful reminder that we always have a choice. Even when things are tough, we can choose how we react, how we live, how we connect with the world. Coulier, he's really giving us a lesson in how to handle life's curveballs. He's not ignoring the hard stuff or pretending everything's perfect. It's about facing the tough stuff, feeling all the feelings, and figuring out ways to cope that actually help. And for him, humor's a big part of that. It lets him find some lightness, connect with people, even when dealing with this diagnosis.
It's really inspiring to see him taking control. He's not letting the diagnosis define him, his outlook, his spirit. He's using the things that make him, his humor, his family, his wanting to help others to get through this.
His story really shows you the power of the human spirit, how we can be strong even when things are really rough. And it reminds us that there's no one right way to handle hardship. It's about finding what works for you. Could be humor, could be connecting with people, your faith, being creative, whatever it is, it's about your own journey, and it's okay to ask for help.
That's such a great message. I think we can all learn from Coulier. His humor, being open about his feelings, how he just keeps living his life. It's inspiring.
Absolutely. It's like he's reminding us that life is a gift, even with the good and the bad that comes with it. He's encouraging us to make the most of each day, to cherish the people in our lives, to find joy in the little things, and most importantly, to remember that we're not alone in whatever we're going through.
Well, that wraps up our deep dive into Dave Coulier's journey. Hope you all found it insightful, maybe even inspiring. Until next time, keep learning, keep exploring, and keep diving deep.